What is up, friends? Takeover peeps, random person coming across this video. However you got here, I'm so happy to have you. Today, I'm here for another video that is one of my favorite things I think that I'll be doing in the future, or for as long as I have things like this. There are always magazines, collectibles, various items that I would love to see the inside of, but I just don't have on my hands, or I don't know how to obtain, I can't afford to obtain, or just never had kind of things. So I thought maybe I'll start making these videos where I page through those items and allow people such as yourself on the internet to see inside of them the best way possible I can do. I don't know if you saw earlier, but I did that going through an old media guide for a Baltimore Ravens football game against the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1997. And I've got other cool items I'm going to do that with now, but I'm taking a complete pivot this time. It is not sports related, it is music related. Were any of you guys subscribers to Alternative Press magazine back in the day? Or did you grow up on, emo bands or screamo or hardcore or metalcore, any of that stuff? If you did, let me know what bands you liked in that genre back in the day. But if you're not familiar with AP Magazine or Alternative Press was like the absolute just king at finding out information on those bands that you loved, especially in the era. For me, it was like the 2006 to 2009 era was when I was really reading AP Magazine, maybe 2010. I can't even remember when they stopped. But they would interview your favorite bands. You'd see full page ads for upcoming albums of the bands of that genre, just all sorts of stuff. It was kind of like just that fringe music of, the things. It was like MySpace era. Like anything, if you were a MySpace user, if you had a song on your profile, or you were in love with some guy or some girl that was the fan of the band, and then, like a Panic at the Disco or an Under Oath or something like that, Alternative Press would be your friend in finding out about those bands, or getting ahead of the curve so you can impress that guy or girl with your music knowledge and the genres they liked. Anyways, Alternative Press put out these things that I absolutely loved back in the day that were called 100 Bands You Needed to Know, or You Need to Know. And that's exactly what this magazine was here. So I'm going to go through that today. We're going to peek at some of those bands that they told us we needed to know, and kind of talk together. Let's think about if any of those bands went anywhere, if they're still in existence. You let me know if they're a band you were listening to, or if you feel like you were one of the first people on the wagon of being a fan of that band. We're going to go through that. First of all, this magazine is from April of 2008, so I think we should find some interesting stuff. It's been forever since I've gone through here. I mean, think about that. This is already going to be coming up on 15 years ago. We've got Sonny Moore on the front cover. If you're not familiar with Sonny Moore, he was the lead singer at a very young age of a band called From First to Last. He's now back in that band, but he's most famously known for being Skrillex. However, he was not Skrillex yet when this magazine came out. We're going to get into that later. So we got the cover here, big shot of Sonny, starring Sonny, The Rocket Summer, All Time Low, The Matches, very underrated band, plus 96 new bands to help you restore your faith in music. Panic at the Disco, Flogging Molly, Protest the Hero, Murder by Death, and Michael Angarano. I probably pronounced that wrong, but let's go. Starting things off with the big old Vans off the wall, full 2-page spread advertisement. We're getting into the band advertisements. Man, this is a look, oh my gosh, from back. You had to be there, and you probably were if you're watching this video. We got this very interesting Every Avenue ad. The pink and blue stripes is there. Everyone with swoopy hair. This dude obviously grew up on Blink 182. But look at just the hair everywhere. I had that hairstyle back at this time. Like this is bringing back absolute memories. Debut full-length album, Just Go With It by Every Avenue. All right. You can find that at your Hot Topic for $9.99. You can't anymore. The Morning Light, advertising that they're as seen on tour with All Time Low and The Cab. All Time Low is a very famous band nowadays and has been for years. The Maine, they have been in it forever. But this is advertising their debut EP, The Way We Talk, which Brings back so many memories. iTunes for $3.99. Oh, Panic. Okay, Pretty Odd by Panic at the Disco wasn't even out yet. It was about to be available on March 25th. This, if you did not listen to this album, is very interesting. I don't know where. Okay, let me know in the comments where you started listening to Panic at the Disco. And also let me know your favorite Panic at the Disco album. Also, RIP, they're just about to end. But Pretty Odd was a game changer for them in that people didn't really know what to do with them. They had switched to a very Beatles-esque Baroque sound. They were messing around with instrumentation, styles, so different from the first album. I love the first two albums so much for different reasons. Pretty Odd is a fantastic album, even though people kind of lost their minds. People actually lost their minds over things like they removed the exclamation point from the name. People didn't like that on the internet. Got the Hush Sound, an album coming out, another very underrated band. Phantom Planet, good band. And then we're just kind of going through Walmart's advertising that they carry albums, and they're showing some tour dates for these bands. We've got Bullet for My Valentine, Taking Back Sunday, fantastic band. Red, Coheed and Cambria, Chiodos. I love Chiodos. No one riffed like Chiodos. And Coheed and Cambria and Chiodos were going on tour with Linkin Park. Did any of you go to that tour? That sounds amazing. Got another ad. Bands I don't recognize. Look like kind of smaller scale bands on Torque Records. Oh my gosh. The morning of... Okay. Not right now because you're watching this lovely video. But go listen to The World As We Know It by The Morning Of. It is just like a bright, poppy, piano-driven album. And the two vocalists, this guy and this woman, are so fantastic. And I saw them live too with a band called Breathe Carolina and a band called Broken Side. It's a whole different story. It was so weird that The Morning Of was opening that show, but The Morning Of is fantastic, and they sounded just as good live as they do on the album. Please go listen to The Morning Of when you're done listening to this album, or this video. All right, we got the Artery Foundation Across the Nation tour in 2008, starring a Skylit Drive, Dance Gavin Dance, Four Letter Lie. Four Letter Lie was a local Minneapolis legend. Played many shows with them. Great guys. The lead singer loves sports cards and memorabilia too. Interesting. Just great. Great dude. Great band. Oh Sleeper, Before Their Eyes, Memphis Mayfire, Blinded Black, and The Hotness. Ooh, we got a little Tooth and Nail / Solid State spread. One of my favorite labels of all time. Search the City. This was a really good album. Kind of reminded me of Anberlin at times a little bit. Kind of good stuff. Number One Gun, Ivory Line, Secret and Whisper, all good bands. Then we got some heavier stuff over here. The Oh Sleeper debut album, When I Am God. This August Burns Red Messengers album literally directed the way metalcore was going to go and made drummers fall in love with China cymbals. Just going to page through some of this stuff. I'll stop when it's interesting. Burden of a Day, very fun band to play shows with. Played a handful of shows with them back in the day when I was touring. Rise Records band, very energetic set, good show. Oceana is a very interesting band too. They eventually became a different band that I forgot the name of, but they really, really developed their sound into something pretty cool. Got a picture of Yellow Card over here for an advertisement. The Rocket Summer, Bryce Avery, I think that was his name. Some advertisements. City in Color, great band. Got some letters, it looks like they're written to Jack's Mannequin. I'm not going to go through those. Taylor Guitars advertisement. Got a Verizon Wireless Samsung phone advertisement. Looks like some more things written into Jack's Mannequin there. An op-ed piece. Oh, the poll. AP always had these polls in there and then had people, readers, respond and say. Question was, is it difficult for newer fans in this scene to gain credibility? 71% said yes. 29% said no. And then they also have responses from members of bands too. Oh, that page is messed up. This poll said 69% of readers said that they believe that older genres of music are more legitimate than, 69% believe fans from a band's early days aren't better than fans than newer ones. And 15% in a previous poll said that they believe older genres of music are more legitimate than newer ones. Interesting. This is just a list of, albums that are coming out in March. Let's just take a look at a few and see. We have Burden of a Day was dropping Blessed Be Our Ever After. Flogging Molly was dropping Float. Murder by Death was dropping Red of Tooth and Claw. Just random other things too. Seosin was dropping a CD-DVD combo. Bury Your Dead was dropping their self-titled. Less Than Jake was dropping a DVD. Just all sorts of stuff. Okay. Continuing on. Glamour Kills. Man, they were all over the place back in the day. A Meshuggah album coming out in March 11 of 2008. Custom drum advertisements. There's a lot. You'll see over time in AP there is more and more, music equipment advertisements in here. Oh, look at this. This is a time. First of all, myspace.com/bankclothing. All the neon, the headbands, the swoopy hair, the way you'd take a selfie, tape over the mouth. Man, this was a time. Punk Goes Crunk. Oh my gosh. If you listen to Punk Goes Crunk, let me know in the comments. Tell me your favorite song on there. It is an experience to be had. Secondhand Serenade. Less Than Jake. Bless the Fall was going on tour for Taste the Chaos, it looks like. More advertisements for neon things. Danger Radio. I feel like I can already tell what they sound like without even listening to it based off the picture. The Matches, so underrated. They were releasing Abandoned Hope and going on the AP tour, which if I remember correctly was a pretty sweet tour. I didn't go, I just remember seeing it and then wondering why I didn't go there. Ooh, a little DVD wrap up. Dan in Real Life is such a good movie, such a good soundtrack. Sondre Leche did the soundtrack and just crushed it. It's one of my all-time favorites to this day. Pierce the Veil dropping a new album. Another interesting band I've played shows with. They're back. They sound kind of grungy now. It's interesting. Talking about some video games. Condemned 2 on PS3 and Xbox 360. And God of War, Chains of Olympus. Army of Two, Supreme Commander. Victory Records. There's 4-letter letter I was talking about. Brian right there, he likes sports cards. Gwen Stacy. I remember that band. All right, here we're to the 100 bands you need to know in 2008 according to AP. I will let you see the pages and I will state notable things. August Burns Red. That is wild. They did so much after that. The Audition, great band. Really like their albums, worth listening to. The Main, been going at it forever. They still are. Enter Shikari, also very interesting, very experimental. Kind of, They've always dabbled in sometimes the hardcore, a lot of times the electronic, sometimes the punk, pop punk. They've done songs that are very orchestral, sound like they're from a movie soundtrack. They can go all over the place. Very, very talented. They're from England. Suicide Silence, A Day to Remember. I'm sure you know that name. This is wild though, because it's like, it's not that these bands weren't already active or doing things or signed or whatever, but the reason why they're in this 100 bands you need to know is because they were not at the level or status we know them to be later, or at this very time. All time low. Article. Very nice. We got a Panic at the Disco Honda Civic tour, offering a chance to win a Honda Civic Hybrid customized and autographed by the 2008 headliner Panic at the Disco. Does anyone watching this video own the autographed Honda Civic by Panic at the Panic at the Disco autographed Honda Civic? I really want to know. And if you do, please send pictures and tell me you're still driving it. Inner Party System. The Cab. Baroness. Bless the Fall. Don't know the bands on these pages. As I'm going through this too, let me know in the comments if there's any bands that I should be checking out that did do really cool things, and which album if I'm not familiar. Foxy Shazam, they were a fun band. I'm not sure if they're active anymore or not. Forever the Sickest Kids. Dang, they did a lot in a small period of time and then kind of disappeared. I think one of the guys in the band is a realtor now. I don't really know what the other guys are up to, but they were very famous at the time. Once Nothing. Far Less. Far Less was an underrated band. The Gaslight Anthem. More bands I'm not familiar with. MGMT. Great band. Great band. I do have to say I think Electric Feel is my favorite song though. As much as that's the easy answer. Kids is great. They did a lot of great songs later too, but definitely changed the style of the song. But that first album is just so catchy, so well written, so it just makes you smile. It's hard to be bummed out and listening to that first MGMT album. 4 Year Strong, very fun, kind of hardcore pop punk band. Manchester Orchestra, very talented band. Oh Sleepers, fantastic. Here's the Matches. The Matches are my wife's like all-time favorite band, probably. There's a very good documentary out about them called Audio Blood. I've even done a song with their lead singer on it. Thrice, great band. Circus Survive. Pelican, I don't know them. They were on tour together. Vampire Weekend. It's another tour. Portugal the Man, they're definitely popular now. Rocket Summer. Ooh, Go to coolhollywoodphotos.com. Limited time offer. Highest quality photos, lowest prices. Thousands of 8x10 photos of Hollywood's hottest stars. Like that picture of Peyton Manning up top. Shout out. Shout out sports. There's the sports card connection. Okay, this page is wild, and you probably already see it. I'm about to get to it. Does It Offend You? Yeah, good band. Pierce the Veil, good band. Katy Perry. Before Katy Perry was totally... She only had her EP out before the debut, like, Katy Perry album. There was no California Girls yet. She was actually fresh, little history thing. She was pretty fresh off of being under the name Katie Hudson, which is her actual name. She changed it to Katy Perry for performing and artistry. Katie Hudson was a contemporary Christian music singer who even did a song with POD. If you look back to POD's Satellite album, I'm trying to remember which song it is on there, but she sings vocals on it along with Sonny from POD. And she's in the music video too, singing as Katie Hudson. So this is just as she was doing the changeover from Katie Hudson to Katy Perry. Not super well known yet. Even you can even see that in like how tiny this is compared to some of the other ones they put full spread. She's probably the biggest to come out of this. So AP was definitely on their A game with that call. There's Sonny Moore. He was doing a solo thing at that time, fresh off of From First to Last. It's also an interesting listen. It's kind of like, it sounds a little poppy, a little like, it sounds like it would have been on Radio Disney to me. This was before he was Skrillex, so he wasn't doing the EDM and electronic yet. But it was electronic based. It was just very poppy. It's hard to describe. One of these guys too, I think that guy, this was his band he was doing for it. These guys look way intense, and then the music was like so not brutal or intense or anything, and not even as heavy as like From First to Last, which was like poppy screamo music. That dude was from a very good heavy band called Drop Dead Gorgeous. I think his name was like Aaron Roth or Rothy. God, I want to go on this tour. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we'll get to that. 303. I want to do cool things. Alesana, with special guests The Chariot, which is an amazing band to me. Sky Eats Airplane, who put out a fantastic album right around this time. It might be just self-titled. It has like a beehive on the cover. Just great. Love Hate Hero was so good. This tour would have just crushed, and I did not go, which is a bummer, seeing as they were in Minneapolis on April 12th of that year. Panic at the Disco, here it is. Yeah, Rocks Like the Beatles' White Album. They gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars. Got a Flogging Molly review. Polar Bear Club, matches. This is all the music review section at the time. Bury Your Dead, Dead to Fall, Murder by Death. Crystal Castles. A little piece on Styx. Then we're getting to the readers chart. Says, based on a monthly survey of AP readers on altpress.com, vote for your favorite, send us your best quickie review, and who knows, you could end up in AP. Here's their top 10. They had the album Riot by Paramore, So Wrong It's Right by All Time Low, Viva La Cobra by Cobra Starship, Bone Palace Ballet by Chiodos came out at number 4, In Defense of the Genre by Say Anything, My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade came in at number 6, Self-titled Avenged Sevenfold album came in at number 7. Motion City Soundtrack's Even If It Kills Me came in at number 8. Jimmy Eat World's Chase This Light came in at number 9. And A Lesson in Romantics by Mayday Parade came in at number 10 on the Reader's Chart this issue. I don't know anything about this band, but I kind of, when I see ads like this where they're just a little less quality, like the pictures are squished, I don't know anything about the band, it just tells me how much that costs, and I don't know anything about what they sound like or anything like that. I think I kind of want to go find out when I'm done with this, if they have any like old videos on YouTube. When actually, no, I'll just find it later. Dude, this picture, the lighting is killing me. I don't know what. This is a place you can order AP shirts and whatnot. Very with the times. There was definitely a style. Big old AP free all ages show. Wow. The Rocket Summer all-time low. The matches, Sonny, Forever the Sickest Kids. I mean, you can read all that. That's a big show. Enter to win a Nintendo Wii courtesy of Secret and Whisper and Tooth and Nail Records. All right, that is the April 2008 100 Bands You Need to Know Alternative Press issue. That was so much fun to go through. Honestly, I hadn't looked at it in years, so I was with you right there on camera. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let me know some of your favorite bands you might have seen in there, or bands you listened to that were just from that era or that scene, or if you read AP Magazine, if you enjoyed those like that. Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Peace and love, friends.